Okay, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of All2ReelToo. That was great. It could use a little bit more harmonica, though. Anyways, my name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is my co-host...
Matthew Jazz Harmonica Haas.
Yes, Jazz Harmonica Haas. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to call you Jazz.
Okay.
DJ Jazzy Harmonica. Anyways, today on this wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is for you, we are covering the greatest of all of the Home Alone films. Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House, the 2002 film that had characters from the other movies, but none of the actors returning.
None of them.
Nope. This film was directed by Rod Daniel, who passed away recently, I guess, or a few years ago or something like that, so respect there. This was the last film that he directed. Whoa.
Cool music.
Yeah, I don't know what that came from, but hopefully we don't get sued for that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it was only 5 seconds. It should be all right. Hopefully.
Yes. And this film was written by Deborah Frank and Carrie Kirkpatrick. Not Kilpatrick, but Kirkpatrick.
Cool.
Yeah. Based on characters created by John Hughes. Yes. So, this film ignores the third film. I mean, that doesn't really ignore it, but, it's just... It's because the third film doesn't include Kevin.
It's a different kid, right?
Yeah, it's a different character. Okay. And anyways, this one... They have different actors playing the characters. This was made and originally aired on November 3rd, 2002 on the Fox network. So, it's the fourth film in the Home Alone series, but the third to include Kevin McCallister and his family, minus a couple of the kids and, different things like that.
Lots of different things.
Different actors and everything.
Different personalities. To all the characters.
Yeah, the film brings several of the main characters back from the first two films, including Kevin, like I said. This time he's played by the actor Mike Weinberg. And it revolves around him trying to defend his stepmother's technologically advanced house.
Yeah.
Smart home, or whatever you want to call it.
2002 is pretty...
His not his stepmother, but his future stepmother, I should say, because
it's right.
It's the... soon-to-be fiancé to his dad, who is now split with his mom. When we begin. He's trying to protect it from Marv, who was played by Daniel Stern in the first film. Now played by French Inspector Gadget 2 Stewart.
Yep, that was a doozy. That was a great movie.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I love French Stewart, but...
Me too.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's sad to see someone have to take on, shall I say, humiliating roles, even though he's much better for it. But, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yes.
It sucks, but...
And this time around, his buddy Harry, who was played by Joe Pesci in the original film, is no longer with us. We don't find out if he's dead, gone, in jail, forgotten, abducted by aliens, whatever. I don't know where he is. Anyways,
they might as well have done that for this movie. It's so far-fetched.
I mean, and his partner is now his wife Vera, played by the beautiful Missi Pyle. Not her best performance. Not a bad performance. Not French's best performance. Not a bad performance either. But
I mean, you work with what you got. I mean,
yeah, they're probably the two best actors in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say in certain ways.
I mean, if you're given, no, I'm not gonna say it. I'll just put it more nicely. You work with what you got. So if you don't got the greatest script of all time, you're gonna have to somehow make it work. So
make it work, as Tim Gunn would say. Anyways,
oh boy,
Project Runway.
Yep.
Anyways, I used to watch that show.
Good. Oh God, I was thinking of James Gunn when you said Tim Gunn.
No.
Okay, never
no
mind.
relation.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
But anyways, that was Tim Gunn's catchphrase on that show. He'd be like, giving mentorship to the designers on there, and then they would be asking him advice, and he'd be like, "Make it work, whatever." I'm remembering this from like 10 years ago when I watched the show. Anyways, so that was a little weird transition there. Anyways, so what else happens in this movie? So do you want to tackle that, Matt?
Yeah, I'll give you just a little rundown here. I'll ask Jim Halpert to fax his dad and ask him what a rundown is.
Yes.
Anyways, the rundown here is that Kevin's dad shows up to ask his ex-wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, if it's okay if the kids go to his house for Christmas. By the way, the dad's played by the actor from Chicago PD, who's like the chief or whatever, the guy with the raspy voice. I forgot his name, but that's the dad. So
Jason Beghe, Beghe, however you pronounce that.
Okay,
yeah, he plays Peter McCallister.
That guy, yeah. So he asks, and she says, well, you'll have to ask the kids, and they all kind of refuse because the mom is shooting them shadows at them, to make sure that they say no, because she has to prove their loyalty, that they love her. So she's already playing the soon to be divorced parent of, if you love me, you'll hate your other parent, type of thing. So, good psychological health we got going on already starting this film. So, they all say no. Dad walks away kind of like, oh, whatever. And then, mom goes out either on a date or just has to go out or whatever. And, has Kevin's older brother babysit him. By the way, Kevin's older brother de-aged from the first two movies here because he was about 16. Go watch the first one. He's about 16
I know,
years old.
It seems like it. I don't know. It's hard to say. And they eliminated two of the siblings.
Oh, he had more? How many siblings did he have in the first movie?
In the first movie, he had two sisters and two brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't remember. All right. So, yeah.
So
two of them.
They eliminated one of the sisters and one of the brothers.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So we don't know what happened to him.
So it might just be that they combined the two brothers into Buzz.
Okay. Yeah, made him like a composite character.
Yes.
Okay. So that's happened. So he de-aged or he became fused with another person, and then they formed their own little hybrid being. And then he picks on Kevin all night long, makes him do all the chores. It's pretty cruel, like slams his hand with a garbage lid really hard. Like that's not just regular picking on your little brother. It's like, actually kind of abusive behavior. And then, so then Kevin waits up for his mom to get home, says that he wishes that he didn't have a brother or sister. His mom kind of scolds him a little bit, saying, it's not a nice thing to say. And then he goes to bed. Kevin then decides to take his piggy bank and then calls a taxi. The taxi driver is, of course, stereotypical Russian kind of person. There's always got to be an ethnic stereotype in these movies somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere it's got to happen.
Well, you need a Russian driver because, we learned that from Bigger, Fatter, Liar. You need a Russian driver.
Exactly. It's right. Yep. That was another great one.
Yes.
Actually, it wasn't that bad,
no.
to be honest. But so then he makes a comment in a obviously fake Russian accent that they think is supposed to be a Russian accent. And then he shows up at this really big mansion that is his future stepmother's house. I'm not sure where all of her money comes from. I know that she does like fundraising for all of these like royal families. I don't know if she's connected. They didn't really explain how she's connected to all these people. So it's one of those movies
it's okay.
where
It's probably something that didn't even need it.
Yeah. It's one of those movies where you don't know how a person got to whatever. So, she's nice at first, and she's like, "Oh, that's such a great thing that you came over and, show Kevin was it the secret room or the extra special
room."
And it was really creepily
special guest room.
Yeah, and it was really creepily said, both by her, the future stepmother, and the
Molly, the maid.
And she's like, "Oh, the extra," just a really weird vibe. And then that
Molly,
room's like
played by Barbara Babcock.
Ooh, I like that name. Mm-hmm. That's a cool name.
Yes.
And anyways, I'll speed this up a little bit because I don't want to talk for 2 hours about this movie. But
the movie's only like an hour and a half.
Right. So the room is like full of toys and shit. And he has a blast. He wakes up next morning. She shows up on his TV because again, it's a smart home. Asking him what he wants for breakfast. He can have whatever he wants, blah, blah, blah. He meets the butler, or not the butler, like the guy, I guess, who's like head of security or something like that.
Yeah, Mr. Prescott.
He's not a big fan of Kevin. Kevin,
played by Erick Avari.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff. They're not fans of each other for some reason, mainly because Kevin asks him to make him a milkshake, and for some reason, and the guy didn't like that. So, by the way, so the dad's like, "Oh, I want my kids to come over for Christmas." And then, like, they leave for, like, half of the trip to go on all these, like, business trips and stuff. And it's like, okay, dude, if you want your kids to actually be with you for Christmas, you actually have to, like, be there with them for Christmas. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of, like...
Yeah, but then the movie would be called Home with My Dad and His Future Wife.
Well, I know it would be called that, but it would still make sense. What I'm saying... Home Alone makes sense in the context that they accidentally left him home alone.
Yeah.
Because there's too many kids and they forgot Kevin. So that makes sense.
This one, he isn't even ever really alone.
In this movie, yeah, he's never alone. And he wasn't, and it wasn't like they forgot him. It was like they went out of his way to say, "Hey, come over to my house. Oh, now that you came over to my house, we got to get going. Have fun though. There's cool stuff here." Like, what? Like, it's just kind of a weird, I don't know. And then, so then, like 3 times throughout the movie, they gotta leave on some fundraising trip or whatever type of thing, or they gotta meet the royal family of.
They're bringing over a royal family
of some country
and a prince. And by the way, the plan of Marv and his wife is to steal the prince, and then you ransom him or something, I guess, for money.
And how they know about this? Oh yeah,
that's explained later.
Okay, that's right. We figured out this. Getting ahead of ourselves. I am. Whatever. Shall I continue?
Yeah, you can continue if you want.
I don't really want to, but we'll get through this. So Marv is an idiot, but he's like the leader now because something happened to Harry. No one knows what. Probably got killed. I don't know. And then so then Marv is trying to be the boss, but doesn't know how to be, so he's like an idiot boss. And then he's always like being all goofy, all Marv-like, but also all French Stewarty or whatever. And then just like, Inspector Gadget 2 or whatever.
Yes. God.
So the first thing happens is that Kevin goes into the living quarters of Mr. Prescott and is checking out like all of his cool security cam footage stuff. Guy yells at him, tells him to leave. He leaves the room. Mr. Prescott somehow goes missing, doesn't show up for a long time. Burglars come in. It's Marv and Vera, and Kevin's trying to call Mr. Prescott. Nowhere to be found. Doesn't help him out. Whatever. So then Kevin, true to form, does all of his little weird tricks to stop them. Because they're called the Wet Bandits, he thought it would be funny to flood the house, to try to flood them out of the house as a sort of callback, like saying, "Hey, I know who you are, so I'm going to use your own little trick here to then get you out of the house." But he floods the entire house, but also like shoots them with like really high pressured water that I don't think any shower would actually ever have, because that would could kill you. So
yeah. But the logic in this film makes no sense.
It doesn't. So he shoots
the physics and everything.
It does. None of it makes sense. No. So, and also there's a lot of really dumb handheld camera shots that drive me crazy. I hate these shots. I don't know. Like I was
the
telling
cinematography is just cheap.
Yeah. Like I was telling Mike about jazz harmonica. I hate jazz harmonica, and I hate these little handheld shots. There's something really disorienting.
But I thought you changed your name to jazz harmonica.
I did, but I hate it. But I changed it.
So you're trying to say you hate yourself? I'm confused.
No, I hate my name that I changed it to. Yeah.
Well, you can change it to something else if you want.
No,
I'll let you, man.
I'm fine.
You can.
Well, I don't need your permission to change my name.
But I'm in charge of name changing in the world of All2ReelToo.
Okay, well then that's just a new made up rule. But
yeah,
okay.
It's the rule, man.
All right, I'll change it to DoNationRewards.com. That's my middle name.
Why don't we just call you Matthew Allen Haas?
Okay. All right.
Okay. Anyways, so then in the movie, they okay. What happens next? You want to take a break?
Just 1 second. Yeah, go ahead. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's take a break from a word from our sponsors for some products and or services, or I don't know, another podcast or whatever, something that's better than trying to talk about this movie for a minute.
Sure.
Go products.
Yep. Go.
Hello, I'm Tom.
And I'm Brian,
Hosts of Be Hero Fights.
home of the greatest debates of our time.
We tackle the tough topics such as
Fortnite versus Call of Duty.
McDonald's versus Burger King.
John Wick versus...
Wait, is that really fair?
Nevertheless, join us weekly on Spotify, Apple, Google, and pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts.
And hear the madness ensue.
And as always,
fight on.
Hey, folks, this is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
Matthew Haas.
We just wanted to tell you about our great podcast called Super. It's called All Too Real. And on that show, what do we do, Matt?
We watch biopics, and then we talk about whether or not the movie matched up with the real story or not.
So
it was a lot more exciting than that, though.
Yeah, so we analyze the real story and the real story.
Get it?
Get it?
Real.
Yeah, they're spelled differently, folks. You can guess which one I said which way. Anyways, so sometimes we have a guest, sometimes we don't. But we talk about great movies like Shattered Glass and The Social Network and Futile and Stupid Gesture, among others. Those are some of the ones that we've covered so far, and we're going to cover a lot more. So please subscribe on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your great, fun podcasts. And be sure to share it with your friends.
Do it.
And make sure you're not afraid to get all too real. Bye-bye. Okay, and we're back and refreshed. I had some Mountain Dew.
Yeah, man.
Yes. And if you would like to sponsor us, Mountain Dew, you can contact me personally, and I will be your poster boy. Yes, your poster boy for Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
My name is Michael E. Cullen II. You can contact me at mike@cullenpark.com, and I will be your poster boy.
And I can do music for you.
Yes. So what we'll do, it's a combined effort. I'll just stand there on the poster and in the ads. I won't say anything or do anything. Well, I might do something, DEW. But, Matt will play music.
Yeah.
And I'll just stand there with a bottle of Mountain Dew. Hell, we'll even do that for like half the price that you would pay somebody like Tom Cruise.
Half. I mean, that's
yeah, that's not asking for
that's a reasonable amount. I mean,
yeah.
How much would you charge? How much did Tom Cruise charge? Probably like $20 million. We'll take a cool $10 million.
Yeah,
it's not a big
that's
deal.
not much at all. We'll do it for that. Hell, I'll do it for $5 million, and Matt'll do it for $5 million.
So there you go.
So then it's $10 million. Wait. Okay, so back to the Home Alone 4.
Yep. Greatest movie of all time. So
you need to get out more.
Yep.
No.
That's all they have in my cellar. So
yes. You live in a cellar?
I don't know.
Is it a wine cellar?
Yes, in a wine cellar. We'll get back to that. Come back to that. Oh god.
So what happens next in this beautiful film?
So he floods the house, like the entire house, and Mr. Prescott still nowhere to be found. His dad, and his future stepmother come home, and then she screams as soon as she steps in the water, and then he tries to tell them what happened, that there are burglars, and like total normal parents, they just don't believe him. Like they're just like, nope, there's no burglars here. You're lying. So go to your room. Like, okay. And then he says,
because kids make that up all the time.
Yeah, man.
And it's not like Kevin hasn't encountered burglars twice
with the same person.
Mm-hmm.
And he explained it was the same person.
Yep.
But in this canon, though, it's implied that he never told his dad about Harry and Marv, which is kind of strange. So you've experienced these people twice now in 2 different cities, and you never thought to tell your own dad that situation. Okay.
Well, we all keep things from our parents,
I guess,
but yeah, like all those times that people rob our houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Like that time when I swore that someone entered my bedroom, and then no one did believe me. But I was like, oh, I'm going to keep that to myself. No, I told them straight away. Some dude in a hoodie, which looked very much like a neighbor that lived across the street from me, just happened to be mosing about. Mose about? Not sure if that's a word, but moseying. How's that word go?
Moseying?
Is that
maybe?
I don't know, whatever. Just walking around. then he saw me wake up, and then he just kind of did like this little like shifty like almost like a person like Marv would just kind of like scooch back like ooh.
Was he just watching you sleep?
No, it was like I woke up as soon as the door opened.
Oh, okay.
And then I saw it because I'm a really light sleeper when it comes to hearing my door being unlocked or just opened. Like other things, like I can sleep through, but I hear that little tiny jiggle, and then it wakes me up. So I heard that. I saw this dude in a hoodie, like a black hoodie, just standing there for a second, and I just kind of like wiped my eyes, like oh hello whatever, and then like the person just like kind of shimmied out, like almost like you're dreaming type of thing. Like that's literally what the person did, which kind of made me laugh almost because like this is the most hilarious thing ever. like the dude is literally trying to make me like you're just dreaming, man. Like oh my god. And then and I know it was someone because later on I saw someone.
And then you're like, this isn't a dream because there's not a sexy woman with Abraham Lincoln's head here. So why?
Exactly.
Come on. That's what everybody has in dreams. Right?
I mean, for me, it's George Washington's head, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
And Donald Trump's hair. So
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. That's weird. But, okay.
So, anyways, back to the movie.
They don't believe him, and then his dad is like, I know why you're doing this. The divorce is struggling. It's a struggle with you, and it's a hard transition. I understand, but you don't have to. You don't have to act out or whatever. Okay, a few problems with that. So, there was no indication whatsoever that Kevin even acknowledged that a divorce was even taking place, so he's probably living in some kind of form of denial. Or B, even if he did, he didn't show any kind of animosity or hostility towards his future stepmother. In fact,
he liked her.
He was quite happy to see her.
Yeah.
So it would be very strange that within a 12-hour period of time, he would go from being as accepting of the new situation as he was to pulling some kind of stunt of flooding the entire mansion just to get attention. So anyway, so he accuses Mr. Prescott of being like an inside man already, which is kind of like, that's kind of, in of itself kind of like, okay, dude, that's kind of a weird leap of logic. I mean, one burglary and you just assume that the guy is behind it, whatever. But, they say, no, you're a lying piece of shit. Well, they didn't say that. And then, and then they go to a bunch of fundraisers throughout the movie. Kevin talks to his mom at one point. His mom brings some stuff from home to make him more comfortable, but then she gets jealous because his stepmother buys him all this fancy shit, and then she feels inadequate by just bringing like his old teddy bear. But then her and his dad talk about how the teddy bear is important because it's a transitional object, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Then that makes stepmom jealous because then they're talking about like their own little stories, so she's left out of the loop, blah blah blah. They don't like each other. So what else happens, Mike?
So basically, okay, then let's speed things up a little bit here. Basically there's a party of some sort, like a fundraiser or something that is being thrown there, and Marv and his girl Vera come in as waiters for the thing. And I just want to point out the thing that bothered me the most of this whole movie. Okay, Marv walks in. He's got this white tuxedo thing, like waiter tuxedo on top of his trench coat. And he's wearing a like beanie hat, like a wool beanie. I'm just going to mention that again. He's wearing this tuxedo coat on top of his trench coat, and nobody finds this suspicious. Because you put on a tuxedo coat over the top of a trench coat, and that's normal? I don't know. I've been to some fancy, dinners and cocktail parties and stuff like that in my life. Never did I see any of the waiters there wearing a trench coat underneath their tuxedo coat. I don't know about you, Matt.
Hey, man, it's just a personal style. I mean, they're very open-minded, I guess, about people wearing what they want there. So.
Usually there's a strict dress code here. I mean, my dad used to be a bartender at a lot of parties and stuff, and he had to wear like a little, tuxedo coat thing and a bow tie and whatnot, and
I don't know. This is a very strange stepmother here. She's very rigid about some rules, and other rules doesn't matter. So, she wasn't there at that night, so maybe she didn't have any oversight over what people wore. But Mr. Prescott,
Mr. Prescott should have.
Yeah, and he didn't even notice.
Yeah,
you're right.
So he's not blameless in this thing, man. That's all I'm saying. No, he's not.
He doesn't pay attention to what he's doing.
No.
So that's
Again, he was wearing a trench coat with the tuxedo coat on top of it. I don't know. Anyways, so they have this party. There's a bunch of, little things going on. He tries to get Mr. Prescott out of the situation. He locks him in the freezer, which is another flaw because, OSHA or whatever, the occupational, government people. I don't know what OSHA stands for, but anyways, they require that you have a way to get out of a freezer from the inside.
Yeah, there is.
So you don't have, situations where you end up having a bottle episode like they did on the Brady Bunch where the kids were locked in the cooler at Sam's meat place or whatever. But anyways, I'm pretty sure that episode of the Brady Bunch created this rule.
Yeah.
They just never wanted to have a bottle episode anywhere. Anyways, that's why, right?
Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Not safety reasons.
No.
But anyways, so they try to figure shit out and blah blah blah. They Kevin throws shit at them, and they should have died, and they didn't. And then
they should have died multiple times.
Yes,
during this one scene or this one segment alone.
I mean, Marv should have died in the first movie.
Oh yeah, he should.
So,
I mean, he talked about scars. He's got more than scars. Okay, he's got probably freaking chunks out of his flesh from all the shit that Kevin did to him. I mean, need I remind you, didn't he freaking tar and feather him in the first movie or something like that?
Yeah,
I mean that would have killed him alone.
They had, paint cans and hot irons and other things hit them in the face and stuff in the hands and whatnot. Anyways, so
a dresser falls on him in this movie.
Yes.
Like a huge,
tall dresser,
probably weighed like 500 pounds, crushed him.
Yeah, made of solid wood,
and he got up. He was fine. Whatever.
Yeah. So anyways, oh, by the way, the reason that they were able to get into the house is they have, like, the house is a smart house, and they were able to move around and control things because they had the little remote control that controls the smart house that you talk into and say things like, open sesame, and things open, and, open window, open door, and basically you can open anything in this place.
It's a smart house.
Yes. And, then, after all is said and done, okay, so that party happened, blah, blah, blah.
He gets blamed again.
Yeah, he gets blamed again for what happened at this, and then, we have a situation where, later on, Marv and Vera come back. Yeah.
They come back. Well, stepmom gets mean now.
Yeah.
Basically tells
She
Kevin
basically threatens Kevin
that he'll never be able to come
his
to
little
her.
teddy bear.
Yeah, he's right. She's got to threaten his teddy bear, his transitional object, which, that's a pretty cruel thing to do as a step parent, to threaten some, like, anchor type of object, that a child needs to get by.
You don't threaten Linus's blanket, That's basically
don't do
what
it.
it is. Yeah.
But anyway, she threatens him, saying if he ever acts out again, he's never going to be able to see, never going to be able to go to her house again. But also strongly implies that she's going to keep his dad away from him.
Yeah.
Like he's never going to be able to see his parent again.
Yeah. Again, perpetuating the stereotype of step parents being.
Oh,
bad
I know.
and
That's
evil.
why that turn really kind of made me mad about that.
Yeah.
I didn't like that, but whatever. That's what they did. So,
anyways, the next day or whatever, there's a Marv and Vera break in again
for the third time.
Yeah.
And then, is this when the big reveal happens?
Yeah, because
okay.
Kevin locks Prescott in the wine cellar because he thinks Prescott's in on the thing, and then he goes and tells Molly, the maid, that I eliminated the inside man, and she says, "No, you didn't, because I'm the inside man," or whatever. She doesn't say it like that, but that's basically it.
No, she's got a stereotypical Irish accent, too.
Yeah.
She's a nice old Irish lady, but not really,
Nice old Irish lady. Anyways, yes, but she's more like, somebody that's part of the IRA or something, or the, yeah, anyways,
What? Wow.
Or the other, what was the other one? The N something. Anyways, the other side, the ones that were the parliamentary people that were trying to. Anyways, I just watched a documentary about all that, so I kind of got all that fresh in my head. Anyways, we get the reveal that Molly is Marv's mom. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, that's the second big reveal.
Yeah. So, and Prescott's a good dude, and so she locks Kevin in the wine cellar with Prescott. Kevin tries to call his mom a couple times, is thwarted by Buzz being a d-bag, and then this is all using Prescott's cell phone, and which he doesn't realize he has right away, which I think is just kind of funny. Anyways, but then she tries to call. I mean, he tries to call the mom, and the mom can't hear him because it's all fuzzy and stuff. And so the mom calls the house. Molly lies and says that Kevin's out with his dad and stepmom, or future stepmom, Natalie. Anyways, Mrs. McCallister calls Mr. McCallister, and he says, nope, he's at home. And she gets worried, so she's going to come and make sure that Kevin's okay. This
is where evil stepmom still thinks he's lying. It's like, okay, so you think Kevin put Molly up to lying about him being with... That's a weird, elaborate lie. Like,
exactly.
So she's like totally anti-Kevin at this point in the film.
I mean, maybe Kevin, whipped out his good Molly impersonation or something.
I mean, totally. Yeah, anyone could sound like an Irish woman just like that.
Yeah.
Apparently. I don't know.
Well, I can, yes.
No, it doesn't sound Irish to me. It sounds more like British to me.
Okay.
Cockney almost.
Oh, all right.
Michael Caine.
Yeah. Oh.
Michael.
Oh.
Michael.
There we are. Anyways,
Hell.
I'm going crazy.
Yep, I know.
So basically, what ends up happening is he gets out through the dumbwaiter in the basement, which takes them for like ever to realize that takes Prescott forever to realize that there's the dumbwaiter is behind a bunch of boxes in the wine cellar. Anyways, so he gets up into the dumbwaiter, gets out there, and then he basically should have killed all of the people several times, but somehow they survive every time that he hits them with things and does all of his Kevin McCallister type of shit that you see in all the movies.
Falls down flights of stairs.
Yeah.
Gets hit in the head with like 15-pound paint cans going at like 40 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
normal stuff.
Typical stuff that happens to all of us every day, and then we, just brush it off. It's just like stubbing a toe. It's nothing bad. Anyways, the whole thing, basically ends up getting solved, and Prescott helps a little bit, and blah blah blah. The parents both come there to see because Mr. McCallister basically tells Natalie like, "F you, I believe my son. I'm gonna go check on him," and takes a cab there, and then Mrs. McCallister and him both show up at the same time. They both go in there. Marv and Vera are about to run out the back door, and
my favorite.
Kevin's brother and sister go around the back and they trip them, and then they go flying like a fucking Superman into the bushes.
Yeah, so instead of getting tripped, instead of falling down for getting tripped, they actually defy gravity and go further upwards.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, and then land in some bushes, and then the kids sit on them until the cops come or whatever, and then the prince and the queen come to the place with Natalie, and because they were picking them up at the airport, and Mr. and Mrs. McCallister decide that they want to get back together, and that basically Mr. McCallister was just infatuated, as he says, with Natalie.
Basically just says that he was
he
nice
confused
flame.
He confused infatuation with love. So basically he was just screwing her, and
he got enough.
He thought it was love, and now he's going to get back together with his wife, who's going to just readily take him back after he was screwing some random rich chick.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's normal.
Yeah, because that's how life works.
Yep. And the McCallister's reality, it does.
And so they invite the prince to come over and hang out with them, because, that's
normal too, right?
And
yeah, that's secure. Just have a prince royal family just hang out in some random normal house with no security, nothing, just hang out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Anyways. And then, the credits roll and everybody's happy.
Oh, the stepmom cried because the Prescott quit.
Oh, yeah. Prescott quit. Molly got arrested. So she had nobody to.
Now she has nobody in her life. She's just all alone.
All alone on Christmas.
Yep. That's a great ending to a story.
Yes. It was happy.
Alone in her mansion by herself with a bunch of wine in the cellar. She probably got drunk and ended up like alcohol poisoning and
leaving Las Vegasing herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so we're gonna take a break here right now. And when we come back, we're gonna talk about some trivia about this film and read some reviews from some people on the Internet Movie Database.
All right.
But here's some products and or services. Hi, folks. This is Michael Lee Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
manager Matthew Haas.
You got promoted?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay, anyways, folks, do you like the show Superstore? I don't know. I asked the folks and nobody's answering me.
Because they're not here.
Oh,
but we love
damn it. Yeah, we love it, though. Okay, folks, if you like it as much as we do, you're really going to like the Superstory podcast, which is a podcast where Matthew and I go episode by episode and give our little opinions and thoughts on it. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. Just depends on how we're feeling.
Yeah.
And, so if you like this podcast and like our little crazy banter,
then you should definitely check this out. Or I might get sad. And when I get sad, it gets pretty sad.
Yeah,
so
I can't deal with him when he's sad.
No one can really. So
yeah. So check out Super Story Podcast right here where you get this podcast, Super Story Podcast.
Do you have dreams that you want to achieve but are scared to do so due to self-doubt, fear, and other people's criticism? I have just what you need. You need a dose of the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, where I interview guests that will motivate and inspire you to stop at nothing to achieve your dreams. And always remember, if you believe, you can achieve.
Okay, and we're back. I don't know what that was, Matt.
Back.
Back from break. Anyways, so here's some trivia I found on the Internet Movie Database about this wonderful film. Daniel Stern, who played Marv in the first two films, was approached to reprise his role in this one. Stern quickly declined, calling it an insult, total garbage. And on the other hand, Joe Pesci wasn't offered to reprise his role as Harry. Instead, Harry's name was only mentioned. Although the movie takes place in Chicago, Illinois, it was actually filmed in South Africa. Which is weird. Anyways. This is a big one. The producers had hoped that this movie would lead to a Home Alone television series. And several of the main cast members had clauses in their contracts that would have brought them back for such a series. This movie failed to perform up to the expectations and the ratings, and the series was never greenlit. This is the only film in the franchise where Marv actually calls Kevin by name, and vice versa. So somehow they know each other's names in this one. Yeah, the original idea was that this film was going to be a sequel to Home Alone 3, but the idea was scrapped and rewritten as another film in the franchise to revolve around Kevin McCallister. Yeah, when asked, Macaulay Culkin, the original Kevin, said he was less than unimpressed by this film. Not less than impressed, but less than unimpressed by this film. So I don't know what that means, but anyways,
just means he really thought it was bad.
Yeah, like I said before, there were 5 siblings total in the. Kevin was one of 5 siblings, and in this film they get rid of two of the siblings, one of the brothers and one of the sisters. In the original ending that was written for this, Kevin's parents did not get back together. His father stayed with Natalie, and his mother started dating a police officer who turned out to be Marv's younger, more honest brother. This was changed when the producers decided they wanted the film to set up a television series, and so Kevin's parents did get back together at the end, while the police officer was deleted altogether from the script. This is the only film in the franchise to feature a twist revealing a villain. None of the other ones had a twist. Despite the title, Kevin is not home alone, but in the care of his siblings in the one part, and then he's in the care of other people. He's never really alone.
He's never alone, no.
Yeah. In the previous films that involve Kevin, he and his family are very wealthy and live in a much larger house, though in this film they are middle class. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, don't know how that happened. Totally different looking house, too.
Yeah, because in the first one, the house is huge.
Yeah.
And it's like they're having like 40 people stay there before they go on their big vacation.
And it has like 3 stories and stuff, and, like it has like a big attic, and I don't know, it's just...
Totally.
Yeah. Okay, I found one so far. I mean, there's hundreds of reviews here on the Internet Movie Database, user reviews. I found one that called it an okay movie! ! This is from CM Howell 99 from November 4th of 2002. Saw this last night on ABC. I guess maybe it was on ABC. I thought it said it was on Fox. But anyways, the film stunk at first, but it got pretty good after 30 minutes. In this film, I think Kevin is younger than what he was in Home Alone and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Kevin's parents, Peter and Kate, split up, so Kevin goes to stay with Peter and his girlfriend, Natalie. Then two burglars come along. One of them is Harry. No, it's not. It's Marv.
My God.
And it says Harry isn't voiced by Joe Pesci, instead is voiced by French Stewart. So is this an animated film? I didn't know that.
What?
Wow. Peter and Natalie think that Kevin is pulling something, and Kevin gets in trouble. Blah blah blah. So, anyways, yeah, this is a bad review. I'm not even going to read it. It's not even funny to read. It's so full of errors and everything. But they give it an 8 out of 10.
Well, that explains why they haven't even seen the movie, apparently. Or they didn't understand it. Or they're on drugs. They think it's an animated film.
Honestly, I would have thought that he was Harry instead of Marv, too, because he looked more like Harry.
I know, but they kept calling him Marv throughout the whole movie, though.
Yeah.
So I could understand at first thinking it's him, but...
I mean, at first I thought he was French Stewart. Anyways,
Wow.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to read one here that's a bad review, a 2 out of 10 here for the movie.
Okay.
They even gave it 2. Wow, okay. This is from Pixar 01. Is that you, John Lasseter?
That's the
No,
name.
anyways,
Yeah.
It was a review from June 19th, 2009. Wow, I love this movie! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Not! Exclamation point. This is the worst movie I have ever seen in the past 15 years. I remember watching this movie 5 or 6 years ago with my parents, and I never thought there could be a more bad acting film. Okay, that's grammatically weird. Anyways, I have been attending drama classes for about 2 years, and I know that I'm not a very good actor. However, I now know that these individuals could not get any worse in acting. Even though I hate this film, I don't think there is anything wrong with the first Home Alone 1 and 2 movies. I recommend you do not watch this film. Keep in mind that this is a disgrace to the movie industry. Okay. So that's one of the little, I don't feel like reading any of the more bazillion bad reviews. There's a lot better ones I probably could read. Just go to the Internet Movie Database if you have any thoughts of watching this movie.
Yeah.
And, read those reviews.
And again, this is one of the very few ones where we don't actually have like a review where someone thinks it's the best movie of all time. Like we've gotten that with Tooth Fairy 2 or with Jingle All the Way 2.
Or Inspector Gadget 2.
Like there's always someone
there's
that's
somebody
like,
out there
this
that
is so
likes
awesome.
them.
We don't get this in this
No.
one. So
No, maybe they just needed to add like Larry the Cable Guy.
Yep.
That would be the greatest movie ever.
Oh, yes.
Larry the Cable Guy and French Stewart in a movie together. And it's a direct-to-video sequel. I'm thinking like, I don't know, Rush Hour 4.
Oh God. No. Just make it Home Alone 5 and then Larry the Cable Guy plays Kevin as an adult. And he's Home Alone. Oh God, no.
Oh, that'd be a great movie. I'd watch it. Anyways, Matt, would you recommend this movie to anyone?
No.
Even your worst enemy?
Well, my worst enemy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
because I don't want, I mean, that's a good torture device, so.
I honestly don't even think I would do that.
I would, definitely.
Yeah. I'm not that inhumane. Anyways, yeah. Anything else, Matt, before we close up shop here?
No.
Is that how you felt about the movie? That little sigh you just gave?
Yeah, I'm just...
Yeah. So, people,
yeah.
be sure to tune in next time.
Yeah.
And, we'll torture you again.
Whoa.
No, we won't.
We will not torture you.
We'll prevent you from torture by reviewing great direct-to-video sequels.
We're hoping to do Time Cop 2 at some point.
Yes.
And that would be a good one.
Yes, we might do that. Or maybe we'll find a good direct-to-video sequel eventually.
I'm hoping. I mean, we found
decent ones.
Yeah, a few of the ones we saw, like Bigger, Fatter, Liar was okay.
Yeah.
What was the
American
other one?
Pie Band Camp wasn't bad.
That was funny.
Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves was not horrible. It just wasn't good.
It got bad near the end, sort of, especially with that giant tiki statue.
Yeah.
That one ruined it for me right there. What was the other one that was not Kindergarten Cop 2 was okay.
Yeah.
With the Twix fascination for some reason. I don't
Yes.
know. And then,
by the way, Twix, if you'd like to sponsor
yes,
us, you can contact us. So I guess that'll be it for today. Talk to you later, folks.
Bye.
Thanks for listening
Bye.
to All2ReelToo podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.